What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Les Alex here for Impact Gaming Center. We are live and in living color with round number 3 of our 4-round Modern FNM. We've got Jeremy on Golgari Food against Jake on Jeskai Wizards. Both players are 1-1. Round 3, we usually like to feature match two players. Two players that are 1-1. And these two are the ones we picked. So we've got, both these guys. Golgari Food. Jeskai Wizards, this should be a fun one. Strap in. It might be a while, but both players off to a pretty good start here. Gravecrawler for Jeremy and a Cameo. Gonna Surveil Ski. Sam. Oh, so he's not playing Golgari at all. He's just playing junk. Or Abzan, as it's known nowadays. All right, Jake draws and passes back. As Miranda dice, no Decoldekar drawn for Jeremy. But attack for 4. Jake on a block. Gonna take 2. Marionette Prince. Spell Snare. Walk it out. Now walk it out. Down to 13. Meticulous Archive. Jake gonna get to Surveil. Going to check out his hand and keep it on top. Was it a Teferi 3? I think it was. One ring to rule them all. Gonna make another clue. And Jeremy draws a Windswept Heath. He will play that Windswept Heath. Jeremy in the tank here. Cracks his Windswept Heath, goes to 16, gets a Forest. Here is Warren Soul Trader. And pass back to Jake. Gonna draw a card off of the one ring. I think we're gonna see Cameo get flipped here. Draw 2. Flip Cameo. All right, there is Cameo Seasoned Scholar, upticking. Until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -1/-0 until end of turn. Pretty good. Flage the Soul Trader. Trigger on the stack. Jeremy's going to have a thing. Gonna sack. Lose a life and make a treasure. Well, Soul Trader will hit the bin. And Jake will go to 15 off that exchange. Yeah, Jeremy's got to find a way to keep up with this one ring. It could just take over the game if he's not careful. I'm sure there's some combo potential within Jeremy's deck. The food dude, Peregrine Took. Peregrine Took. All right, here's Peregrine Took. Lightning Bolt and Peregrine Took, but let's see it. Whenever a token would be made, you get to make a food token.
Use the treasure to cast the Grave
Gravecrawler going to come back. Yep, Gravecrawler going to tap Tameo there. And Tameo dropped to 3. Crazy how when these Planeswalkers came out, Tameo was like the one that people weren't really excited about, and she's the one still seeing play. Of course, Ajani's still seeing play in the best deck in the format, but that's besides the point. All right, Jake figuring out this tap. There it is to Fairy Time Raveler. Everybody's favorite. Bouncing Gravecrawler back to him. Jake will draw a card. Flage the other Gravecrawler. And Jake will gain 3 more life, back up to 16. Yeah, I mean, Jake's just kind of pulling away with it a little bit here. We'll see if Jeremy can cast Gravecrawler and cast Gravecrawler. So kind of just rebuilds his board from the previous turn, but I think Jake's okay with that. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And Jake will lose 3. There's a Flooded Strand. Jake will uptick both of his Planeswalkers. Fetch down to 12. Is it Flage time? It would appear that it is. Flage going to enter the battlefield here, and this is going to be a pretty big turn. What are we pointing it at? One of the Gravecrawlers. Sounds good. Back up to 15. Jake doing his little dance. Goes down 1, up 3, down 1, up 3. And back to Jeremy. Gravecrawler back at it like a crab man. It can't get rid of these Gravecrawlers. Cauldron Familiar. Cat is good. 16, 14. Birthing Ritual. Drawing 4 in response. Did we get anything? Birthing Ritual resolves. Birthing Ritual trigger here at the end step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards down. Sack the Cat, Asmo. Cookbook comes along with Asmo. And now Jeremy's cooking. Pun intended. In step here. Snapcaster Mage Bolt U. Down to 13. Jake drops to 10. Double white here. Prismatic Inning finally getting rid of this pesky Grave Trawler. Prismatic ending the Asmo Dice Nicole Dakar. Yeah, Jake, when you got this one ring rolling, typically have the answers. 3U. So 11, 12. Before blocks, though, Jake's got some shenanigans. Flame of Venor the Cat. He does have a wizard, obviously, on the battlefield, so he'll be able to draw 2. Take 8, go to 3. And a lightning bolt to finish off Jeremy. Jake going to take game number 1 here. And there you have it. Game 1 going to go to Jake here. Jeremy going to be on the play, I would imagine. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate you. I'm Alex. Coming to you live from Impact Gaming Center in the fabulous Fairview Heights. If you're in the Midwest or in the St. Louis area, come check us out. We're located at 49 Ludwig Drive in the fabulous Fairview Heights, Illinois. So come and check us out. Got 20,000 square feet of gaming center. Let me show it off just a little bit here to you. So that's the feature match area as we kind of zoom out. This is only half the space. Folks still playing, people still shopping, having a pretty fun time. Some Warhammer happening, it looks like. Of course, there's always Commander happening up here at Impact. Having a blast. Alrighty. But yeah, these players are about done. Almost finished here. Shuffling up. Looks like Jeremy's still sideboarding, but that's okay. We're going to kick it down to the players. Jake did win game 1. And we will wait for them to get started. All right, looks like Jeremy is going to be on the play as anticipated. Jake looking at his hand like he's not very happy with it, but shrugs and says, all right, I guess I'll keep it. And Jeremy says, I guess I'll keep this hand. Gingerbread Cabin tapped. Scalding Tarn, pass back. Overgrown Tomb, shocked. Marionette Apprentice, and another spell snare. Jake just always has a spell snare for this Marionette Apprentice. Oh, man. And he will drop to 17 after the shock and the fetch. Can Jake find a one ring to rule them all? That was the huge, huge difference last game. That was the deal breaker for Jeremy. Just couldn't seem to get out from underneath all of the card advantage that Jake was able to create. Birthing Ritual, is this another counter magic spell? It is an actual factual counter spell. And Jake trying to taking the control player route in this game. At this point has just run Jeremy up the curve with counter spells. Let's see how we do this turn, how Jeremy fares this turn. Jeremy's been playing off a turn 2, playing Cabin on turn 1 and Cabin on turn 3. Has a Flame of Venor there, and I think 2 Subtleties, is that right? Or maybe Solitudes, I don't know. Warren Soul Trader, 3 mana here. What's Jake want to do with this? He does have the Flame of Venor if he wants to just take it down immediately. Subtlety, pitching, Flame of Venor. And Jeremy put it right back on top. And step, gonna Flame of Venor and draw 2. Let's see if Jake can find any kind of threat. He'll find a Tamiya. That's pretty good. Alrighty. And here is Soul Trader yet again. And this time around, Jake says it's good. Do we have a Lightning Bolt? Yep. And wow. Jake is just kind of taking everything that Jeremy's dishing out here. Gonna make a clue and pass back to Jeremy. Jake did miss a land drop. Obviously, Jeremy's missed a couple here as well. But I think Jake's deck wants to get to 4 a little bit more than Jeremy's does. Jake does have a counterspell. Oval Chase Daredevil. And Jake says it's good. End step, crack this, draw a card. That's another counterspell. I can't quite see what that card was that he just drew. Flame the Oval Chase and draw 2. That's pretty good. And that means that Jake will flip Tamiyo and play Flooded Strand, pass back. And Jake is kind of every question that Jeremy has presented, Jake has had an answer to thus far. It's the big thing here with this Abzan food deck. You can't let it get too many permanents on the board, or else it will just overwhelm you and find a way to cobble together some kind of convoluted combo or just beat you down. Fetch Shock down to 15. Temple Garden. There's Sam. Sam's good. Unearth targeting Worn Soul Trader. And that's going to be good for Jake as well. That'll make a food. Which is going to come back, thanks to the food. Down to 16. Little surveil action. Thundering Fall's going to enter the battlefield. Jake going to take the look at the top card of his library and decide if he wants it there or in the graveyard. To the bin. Oh, Flage, that's a good one in the bin, that's for sure. Upsy Daisies goes Tamiya. Ralgren Triumph. 1 and 1. And a Pyroclasm. Gonna try and take out Jeremy's entire board here. Sack Sam, lose a life, get a treasure to the Worn Soul Trader. Infiltrator hits the bin and passes back. So Jake kind of, I mean, it was a 2 for 2. Just doesn't feel that great. There's Academy Manufacturer off the top after his ways to make tokens goes bye-bye. That's rough. That's rough for Jeremy. So he's got Oval Chase, Daredevil, which I think is what he's casting, yep. And there's a Subtlety, Pitch, a Counterspell. Does he put it on top? He's gonna put it on bottom. I don't think you can afford to put that thing on top. And just a pass back. Jake hasn't had much in the way of threats thus far. But of course he does have that Flage in the bin now and was able to just run Jeremy up the curve with either counter magic or ways to deal with creatures. Kind of exactly where you want to be with the hand that Jake kept in the initial turn. His opening hand, kind of the game plan that you sculpted this game here. You can kind of tell by, well, I don't know if you can hear Jeremy, but he says, sure, I guess I'll go to 11. And Tammy going to uptick and pass back to Jeremy. Jeremy drew, I don't know what that was. I mean, Flage is very good against Jeremy. There's Oval Chase Daredevil. Wow, is that what he drew? He put one on bottom. Yeah, not that great on this board. 3 that guy, 6 you. Jake goes to 19. Jeremy goes to 5. Upticks Tamio and passes back, and I think we're going to see Jake take this one as Jeremy just drew a fetch land. And Jeremy says that's game. Jake going to take it down here. Going to improve to 2 and 1. Jeremy going to drop to 1 and 2. Holy smokes. Pretty textbook game there by Jake. Was able to counter and just have some nice pieces of spot removal up the curve. And then stick a Tamio and then stick Flage, and kind of just exactly how he wanted to, have that game turn out. But thank you all so much. If you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, hit up our Twitch. We stream each and every single Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Some modern action. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel here. We've got hundreds and hundreds of other gameplay videos you can check out. They'll probably pop up here. Other than that, I will definitely be catching you in future videos. Make sure to hit up impactgamingcenter.gg for all your Magic the Gathering TCG and other trading card game needs. We appreciate you. Make sure to hit up the website, though, because we do have thousands upon thousands of cards, and not just like a bunch of bulk. We have a ton of great high-end cards. So if you're looking for staples for Modern or Commander or even Standard, likely we have some number of the cards that you're looking for. As again, we are a local game shop in Fairview Heights, Illinois. So thank you all so much. And until the next time I see you, I will catch y'all on the flippy flop. Adios.
Sack the cat, bring it back with the food. He makes the food, sack him.
Back to the channel. Les Alex here for Impact Gaming Center. We are live and in living color on a pre-release Friday night. No, this isn't limited. You are seeing the description and the title correctly. We've got some modern action. We've got Jake on Jeskai Wizards. He is one of them. Against Dan on Azorius Control. Oh baby. This is gonna be an awesome match. I can already tell you. I can already tell you. That is a Tamio, and it is blinging, right? You can barely see what it is. But yeah, Jake gonna play a Tamio here on turn 1. Dan gonna play Meticulous Archive off of his fetch. We'll go to 19. This is gonna be a barn burner. There's 2 sweet decks. Jake's got some spice, as he always does. But thank you all so much for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, check us out on Twitch. We stream each and every single Friday at 7 p.m. We do have just a ton of players here. We have 50 people playing in our pre-release right now. We've got about 25 or 30 players just playing Commander. And then, of course, we've got some modern action happening. These guys, we got 10 today, 10 players. And these guys are doing it live, so here we go. We are off to the races. This is going to be a fun match. You know, Jake obviously has the tempo game down, but can also play kind of a controlling game. But if Jake goes too long in the game, I'm afraid for him, Dan is going to be able to get this one. We'll see how things break. But this is going to be a fun match as Jake drops to 17. 17 all for both players. I'm excited for this match.
It's if Ring gets me. It's Wizards, okay?
It's not.
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine? That's a hot take.
I think it's fine. I think the energy deck only plays it because the energy deck needs bans.
Yeah.
I think it needs